Hi, my name's Kathy Cregan. I'm a CPA with Tax Magic Podcast. Hey, tonight I'm going to come to you with a special edition because we had some changes today that were announced that were actually made yesterday. A couple of days ago, I was talking about the $10 billion lawsuit that President Trump filed against the IRS and how the Department of Justice and the IRS were negotiating with it. And then they set up a slush fund for $1.766 billion that essentially Mr. Trump will have control of by controlling who determines which person gets what. So today it was released that there was a special attachment to that agreement that was made. It wasn't released yesterday, but it was signed yesterday, and it's called a release of claim. I want to read it to you. It's from the Office of the Attorney General, Washington, D.C., May 19th of 2026. A, the settlement agreement in Trump versus the Internal Revenue Service number 1:26 blah, 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 has created the Anti-Weaponization Fund, called the Fund. The settlement agreement directed the Attorney General to issue an order establishing funding and any other relevant requirements for the fund. B, capitalized terms in this document shall have the same meaning as in the settlement agreement. C, this is where I have my major problem. Although the funding of a weaponization fund is a problem, this is a bigger one. C, the United States releases, waives, acquits, and forever discharges each of the plaintiffs from and is hereby forever barred and precluded from prosecuting or pursuing any and all claims, counterclaims, causes of action, appeals, or requests for any relief, including injunctive relief, monetary relief, damages, examinations, or similar or related reviews, appeals, debt relief, costs, attorney's fees, expenses, and or interest, whether presently known or unknown, that, as of the effective date of the settlement agreement, have been or could have been asserted by defendants against any of the plaintiffs or related or affiliated individuals, including without limitation, family or others filing jointly, or parties including trusts, parent, sister, or related companies, affiliates and subsidiaries by reason of, with respect to, in connection with, or which arise out of 1, any matters that were raised or could have been raised in the case or the pending agency claims, 2, lawfare and or weaponization, or 3, any matters currently pending or that could be pending, including tax returns filed before the effective date before defendants or other agencies or departments. Todd Blanche, acting Attorney General. That really should say acting Trump's personal attorney. This is a huge conflict of interest and a huge problem. This has nothing to do with this Trump derangement syndrome everybody says people have. This is just flat out wrong. This says that they are forever barred, forever, going after Trump, his family, or any of his companies. This is a get out of jail and fuck the U.S. every day of the week agreement. It's not right. It's unconscionable. You or I could never get this. The fact that his audited return was questioned by the House Ways and Means Committee after the IRS 2-year examiner said, oh, rubber stamp, he had good attorneys and good CPAs, is proof that the returns not only should be audited, but should be audited by someone who has experience with 500 entities that flow through. This is atrocious. This is an absolute atrocity of our government. It's corruption at its highest form and highest level. I pray that this gets litigated soon, because had they not come up with a settlement agreement before it went to trial or in front of the judge would have thrown it out, because you can't sue yourself. And there are so many conflicts of interest in this government. Nobody is going to go against them. particularly Todd Blanche, who he paid millions of dollars to defend him in the prior lawsuits. Yeah, that is a conflict of interest, I'm sure. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. It is a conflict of interest no matter how you slice and dice it. And if you can't see that now, then you never will. You don't want our democracy and our government and our IRS to run the way it did. And this has nothing to do with MAGA Republicans. It has nothing to do with liberal Democrats. It has to do with the United States of America staying on track to be the United States of America. Period. If it can't happen to everyone, it shouldn't happen to one. And we are swiftly moving into a have and a have-not situation. I had an argument with someone the other day. They said, we've never had a middle class. I grew up with a middle class. I got to say there's not one now, though. And pretty soon there's going to be no classes. Well, unless you want to say the haves and the have-nots, because that's what's going to happen. And when you take away all of the watchdog agencies and anybody who can stop any of this and you just close them all down, of course you're going to get this, which is what I've been saying for a year and a half. These watchdog groups that were shut down or agencies that were shut down, they were meant for you and me. They were to stop things like this from happening. But now they're gone. So we're screwed. Unless Congress and Senate step up and say, enough is enough. This is done. We're going to pull the 25th Amendment card and be done with this. It's not right. And the fact that the Speaker of the House says that it's okay and it should be okay if Congress and Senate can do insider trading because they don't make enough money. They only make like $190,000 that hasn't been raised since 2009. But Nancy Pelosi made $873,000 a quarter on average over her 37-year career. I'm picking her out because the number's easy. Because somebody asked me to determine what she'd made and compared it to Trump's, $700 million he made in the first quarter of 26. It's an atrocity, and it's got to stop. And it's time that we as Americans put a stop to it. If these people in Congress and the Senate won't do it, get rid of them. Get rid of every single fucking one of them. And start over. Because it can't be as bad as what we have now. But then you have people like Tom Massey, who was genuinely a good American conservative, because he would pull the Epstein files and wanted them revealed to reveal all the pedophiles. His candidacy was overrun by money on the other side. They put all the money in the other side to get him out because he was doing his job and he wasn't a yes man. So this is not a political podcast, but politics in this day and age impact my job, impact the tax code, impact what you and I are both going to pay. That's why I'm bringing it up. Let's get it back in line where it was at least semi-fair, but it's not anymore. So I've spent my 40-year career trying to balance this and make it fair for everybody. It's not possible anymore to feel good about what you do when you have crap like this happening. So I suggest everybody get out and vote. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. Flip them all. Get rid of every single one of them. Put new ones in and let them see how bad they can be. I don't know whether they will or not, but I know I'm not going to stand around and wait for it because they've ruined what I perceive to be a democratic republic or at least a conscionable place to live where it was fair, at least a glimpse of fairness. We were on the same playing field until everything blew up 20 years ago. And it's just gotten worse. Another friend of mine, I've talked about her often because she's been on here with me, is Lisa. We're in the fourth turning. If you haven't read the book, go read it. It's kind of scary, but it's revealing itself every day. And on that note, I'm going to call it quits for tonight, and I will come back in a few days and update. In the meantime, I'm going to take you from tax tragic to tax magic, because the more you know, the less you owe. I'm going to try to keep you updated on the crap that's going on that impacts us every day. And as a side note, if they had a get out of jail free card and never to be audited again, do you think that they're going to pay another dime in taxes? I don't.
This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice of any kind. Always consult with your tax professional. Be sure to read this full disclosure. Listener discretion is advised.